Threads Beauty has a she put out the bat signal, and she is looking for an ambassador partner to come in and be the face of her brand. And y'all, when I tell you, this is going to be, I'm so excited about this concept, and I'm going to tell y'all exactly why. And we're going to watch the video so y'all can see what I'm talking about. I am personally a lover of Threads Beauty. I have the lipstick, like they're multi-purpose. So I have like the colors. So like you can use it as a lipstick, you can use it as an eyeshadow. I have some of the like complexion sticks. So I got a dark shade because I wasn't sure what my shade was. So I used that one for my contour. I just saw them one time at Target, and I believe this was around the time when they were like first launching in Target. And I was like, oh, this is cool, like a black owned brand. I felt like I just assumed it felt black owned, or maybe I heard it was black owned. And so I tried it out, and I was like, these price points are real cute. Okay, real cute. The price points is around, $10, $20. Like, you're not gonna find a lot of products that go outside of that range. And what was really appealing to me about it was the fact that it felt like it was just fun. Like, I feel like sometimes makeup get real serious. Y'all know what I mean? Like, it seems like it's a lot to get into it. And there's some people who like makeup, but they're still like casual about it. Like, they're not real deep into it. They just enjoy having the options when they want to get into it. I feel like there's like this very like in between space that has a lot of nuance and opportunity and just like differences in who those people are, between the people who are like, I don't do makeup, my mascara is 10 years old, and then the people that are hardcore, I love makeup, this is my thing. Like, I feel like there's a difference between the two. Who in here has tried Threads Beauty before, and what drew you to it? And if you're not familiar with Threads Beauty, is it something that you would be willing to try? I'm going to get into like what my initial thoughts were and my initial reaction to this. And then I also want to tell y'all, like, even beyond this opportunity, why this is so dope.
Function with Target. And while I think it is the cutest brand, like the branding for Thread is so much better than the branding for Lip Bar. I mean, just look at it. It is so cute. Like, that's what experience gets you. But I underestimated that it really needed a face. It really needed a human connection. Like, the way y'all love on me and y'all point to me and y'all are like, that's Melissa. That's the Lip Bar girl. That's the founder of the Lip Bar. We followed her story. Thread didn't have that. It didn't have that community. I decided that instead of closing it right now, that I just need a face. I just need someone to be able to step in, do the thing that frankly I can't do. I can't be the face of Thread and the Lip Bar. If you have been thinking about wanting a beauty brand, if you are ready to work, if you want to come and be my business partner in Thread Beauty, which already has nationwide distribution in Target, which already has a decent amount of followers in social media, which already has a very strong innovation pipeline, I am literally taking applications for not only a business partner, but a face of the brand. You have to be the same person, okay? You might be an influencer. You might be a person who has a ton of followers and you're like, I want to leverage or monetize my audience. This might be right for you. If you have a business background and you're like, oh yeah, I can support the marketing, this might be you. I am flexible and I am all about creative solutions. I'm working on some other things. Y'all will hear about it soon. Hello, can you guess? I can't do the Lip Bar and Thread and this other thing that I'm working.
When Adrian sent this to me, the first thing that I thought was, this is so cool, right? Like, I see you, friend, you said it's a great opportunity. This is so cool. And it is a great opportunity. Having like your audience, the platform that you built is the equity that you're coming into this deal with. And that type of partnership is so smart. And there were so many reasons why, if the brand is catering to a Gen Z audience, then doing something like this that is outside of the box, that is unconventional, that is so raw and very candid, is such a smart move and an aligned move for what Threads stands for and what it represents. And it is almost like giving me that same feeling of building in public and like hearing the founder story. And it also reminds me of what Olamide did, who is the founder of Topicals, who also has she acquired the brand Bread, I think that's what it's called. And she also was just very candid in asking, like, what do y'all think is the disconnect with this brand? And so I love this for that reason. And then another thing too that is not necessarily a part of the original list or the original feeling, but I love this concept of putting out there what it is that you want. I know for Black women, it is challenging for many of us to simply just ask for what we need and to put our requests out there, to put our asks out there, and to also believe that those requests are going to be met, like that people are going to respond to them well. And so I love how this is like, clearly I need this help, but it also isn't coming from a disempowered place. It's coming from a solution oriented place. So it feels like it's empowering. It just speaks to the person who is doing it, speaks to the founder. And I feel like this is trend setting, because if there's anybody who has been paying attention to what I've been saying, what I feel like, I hear some rumblings and people talking about this, but I think that everybody's kind of dancing around this fact of the creator economy is really booming right now. Like, it's really booming. And I believe that people think the opposite, because we hear about how people are de-influencing, and how people don't trust influencers and they're tired of influencers, and there's a whole genre of content that's focused on tearing down influencers and talking about how much people hate them and don't want them around. Like, you could be mistaken and take that and believe that that is signifying the actual growth of the creator economy, but you would be sorely mistaken. It's like the amount of money that is in this industry is in the billions. And the thing that makes it so important for me to talk about is that there are more people who would benefit from this type of structure, this type of business, than they realize. And when we think about how there are creator led businesses where they're really the new face of freelancing, but the thing that really makes it distinct is the power that we have with social media, the power that we have to create our own things, our own media, our own platforms, and put it out. There's no middleman that's stopping you from doing that. And so your advertising is significantly less. Like, the barrier to entry is significantly lower. And so there are a lot of people who are operating businesses that really do mimic this concept of a creator led business. And even seeing how many people want to get into content, who want to get into media, who want to get into creating their own TV shows, their own movies, their own series, and talk shows, like things that people are recognizing can push their mission forward and can serve multiple purposes, and one of those being to drive revenue for their business. You'll see how those things are starting to become more apparent. There are so many different types of creators. We think about creators in a very one tone, one dimensional way. We believe that creators are the influencers, the people with these major platforms, the people who we see going into, movies and all of these other opportunities that, yes, they are creators, they are influencers, but that's just one type. That's just one shape and form of that. If you are someone who is coming online and you're educating people, you are informing people, you are creating things that help to improve people's lives in some way, you're sharing your expertise, you are creating. And you're creating it through content. So you would qualify, but all of that to bring it back to the point that this is trend setting. This is the future of what it looks like to operate businesses, and the type of opportunities that creators are going to be able to take advantage of, where they really get to be in places where it goes beyond social media, it goes beyond the platform. And so thinking about this example with the beauty bar with Threads Beauty, and how this person, this creator, gets to come in, you've built this platform, you have the audience, you're coming in with all of this capital, and up until this point, maybe you have had brand deals, maybe you have had affiliate, like maybe you've done TikTok shop, maybe you've sold your own products here and there, maybe you have done things that have paid you as a creator, but now you get to take that everything that you have acquired and worked hard and built, and now you get to be in positions where you get to be a partner in a company. And I think that there are going to be even more positions like this in companies, because they're starting to recognize how powerful our platforms are, how powerful our voices are, how influential we are, and how much people trust us because we've been building these platforms. And again, this can go beyond the person who started out as an influencer. You don't have to identify as one or be one. You could literally be the person that's creating content for your business, but you've built a platform because of it. You have an audience because of it. Now you have that leverage, you have that capital to be able to have these types of partnerships and collaborations and be in these positions. And then this is another stream of revenue for you. I see it because there are even more positions that I'm seeing creators in that are in the corporate space, or in the space that is outside of a platform. Like for instance, there is a creator, a beauty creator, skincare creator, who is also an esthetician. Her name is LA Beautyologist. And she recently was sharing how she has been an advisor on the board for different beauty brands and developing products. And that she's currently on a board, on an advisory board for a serum that's being created. So she is a licensed esthetician. So she still has the expertise to back it up. But this is all just proving the point that I was just giving y'all. She knows what she's doing. She can talk about this from a place of being educated and understanding what she's talking about. When she really got popular, it was because of her YouTube channel. People started to see her content. She was the only person that was really serving darker skinned people, melanated people, and showing us how our skincare looks different, or how the things that we deal with our skin present differently than white people's will. And she built a really solid business, I mean, a solid platform by doing that. And so now all of that capital that she has garnered over years, because she decided to create content to market her business, and now she's serving on an advisory board, on multiple advisory boards, and developing products that serve the people that she started her channel for. More of this is coming, y'all. More of this is coming. And I think that it's so exciting to see that there are different avenues and that there are different methods to getting into these places and into these rooms and into these spaces that you imagined yourself being in. And I know I'm going to make this personal for a second, because as someone who has often felt insecure about not finishing college, not having a degree, and feeling like I was all over the place, and I was really trying to find and figure out what is it that I want to do? What is it that I like, what do I do in my life now? And feeling like I've spent a long time like navigating that, and feeling a lot of times like it wasn't connecting, it wasn't clicking. What am I doing this for? Why am I even trying this? What am I even posting for? Having a lot of moments where I felt like that, and then seeing that the exact things that I'm doing could lead to opportunities like this, ones that would typically require a degree, ones that would typically require me going a completely different route to get there. And I get to find that, I get to get access to that because I've built a platform for myself, and I'm building it doing exactly what I want to do. So seeing this and knowing that that is possible, that makes me so excited. And so this example here is just like the tip of the iceberg. It's like so many of the traditional rules when it comes to media, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to business. I feel like all of that is really getting shaken up and rattled because people have to be creative. We got to start doing things differently. We have to find different ways to make money, to operate our businesses, to navigate a world that is quickly adopting things like AI, and technology is changing so much, and people are using these platforms, social media, and they're spending so much of their time here. Like so much is changing about how we live our lives, and the creator economy is a reflection of that, but I feel like it's also a response to it. It's the answer that we have right now for what does it look like to do business now? What is business going to look like in the future? And it makes me think about this term that I learned about recently called entrepreneurial marketing. I want to save the full breakdown of that for another video. Okay. So y'all don't let me forget. I'm going to do like a full nerd out video. But the gist of it is that the way that we learn business, the way that we learn marketing has traditionally and dominantly been from the perspective of a large corporation. So that means that the things that we are learning, the ways that we're supposed to establish a business, the things that we are being taught do not suit the types of businesses that we are setting up right now. The businesses that are solo, the businesses that have small teams, the businesses that are not built on I need to make money. And I know that sounds crazy, but just rock with me for a second, okay? They're not built on I need to make money. They're built on a mission. They're built on a conviction that I need to put this thing out into the world. This is what I need to do. I need to be serving the world and using my gifts in this way. There are people who that's why we got into business. That's where it really comes from. And of course, it has to make money because we need the money to fund what we're doing, but we're not in it to be a billionaire for the sake of being a billionaire. We're not in it to make a bunch of money for the sake of having money and having things. It really is because we know that that's what's required to continue to do what it is that we have the conviction to do. And so those types of people are oftentimes the creatives. They are oftentimes the types of founders that don't respond to the very mechanical and like scientific methods of doing business. Like we have to feel our way through things. We have to know this might be the best practice, but it doesn't make sense for me. It doesn't make sense for what I'm doing. And that's the type of marketing that has existed for a while. I had never heard of it. I didn't even know it was a thing. I'm over here thinking like, man, I don't know what's wrong with my brain because the way that y'all talk about marketing is not working. I can spit it out, like I can spout out all of the things you're supposed to do when it comes to it, but that stuff don't work. And realizing that it's because there's more than one way to do it. We're not tripping. I can't wait to share more on it, but If y'all are excited about talking about entrepreneurial marketing, just put the dancing girl emoji in the chat, and that's how I'll know that you're excited, because I know I'm excited to talk about it. I got hype just giving y'all a little tidbit. We really have to trust our ideas, like for real. We got to really believe in what we're doing for real. And then we have to know what we need and know who to go to that's not going to try to change our visions. And I think like how I want to summarize this whole little section here is by saying that it has felt like you haven't been able to find where you belong and where you fit because the role hasn't been created yet. It hasn't been created yet. So instead of trying to peel off and scrape away and shrink down what we do into a category or into a box that best describes it to the best of its ability. What if what you are meant to be doing, the thing that would make what you do make sense in the exact way that you do it, hasn't come to you because it doesn't exist yet? There are literally so many positions and roles and places in business that just haven't been established. And part of that is because people have been doing business the same way. They don't even realize it. They don't even know they need it. They don't realize it's a role that's necessary. So be encouraged by that and know that you don't have to start peeling stuff away to make it make sense. It doesn't make sense because the role hasn't been created yet. And for some of us, we're creating those roles. We're creating those titles. I feel like I could like really go on a tangent on that. We'll see. We'll see how it develops. But I'll definitely be keeping my, eyes open for how this progresses. And I think that it would be really dope if it became a series. Like, what if it was like a reality show or something? Where it was like finding our threads ambassador, and we got to like vote on who we think is the most aligned. I want that to happen now, but I don't know. I don't know if she got the bandwidth for all of that, but it need to be one. It need to be a show. I would watch it. I'd be tuned in. But yeah, I'll be keeping my eyes out for that.